This is a Cub Cadet RZT50, and it's super easy to level the deck, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So it's probably obvious, but I am going to make sure all my tires are inflated. The rear tires on my mower, I'm going to pump them up to 12 PSI. And the front, the max is 40, but I'm going to put them at 25 PSI. All right, once we've confirmed that all the tires are inflated and not interfering with our measurements, we're going to start on the right side, and we're going to measure the blade on the right, pointed horizontally, and we're going to compare that to the left-hand side. See how I have that blade turned sideways, and I've got about a 6-inch ruler, and it looks like the centimeters is lined up with the blade. And so that right-hand side, if you look close, that is at about 8 centimeters off the ground. So now what I want to do is I want to confirm that the left-hand side is at the exact same setting. So I want the left-hand side to be at about 8 centimeters. All right, so I'm laying on the ground and getting underneath that left side. And again, I'm going to finagle this 6-inch ruler up against the blade. You can see they're a little rusty. I was just working on my first cut for the spring. But let's see where that blade's at. Now, if you look closely, what you're gonna see is it's actually at about 9.5, maybe a little more than 9.5 centimeters. So it's pretty far off, and we need to adjust that deck. Now, on my Cub Cadet RZT50, you only adjust the left side. So this is where you make that adjustment. There is a hex nut, a small one, that you tighten to lock it down. And when you loosen that, then you can throw a larger socket on that big hex, and you can turn it left to lower it, or you can turn it to the right to raise it. Now, because our left side is 1.5 centimeters too high, I'm going to put a 32 millimeter socket on that large hex and turn it counterclockwise in order to lower the deck. But first, I've got a 13 millimeter on that small hex head, and that needs to be loosened so that I can actually turn that larger hex head. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise, that small one with a 13 millimeter, to loosen it. So now that I have it loosened, I can now throw on a 32 millimeter, and then I will very gently, and do this in increments, I'm going to turn it counterclockwise in order to lower that left side of the deck. Now, as you can see, as I broke free that larger hex head, you saw the deck drop. It actually dropped about 0.25 centimeters. I took a measurement, and I'm going in again to make another turn. And again, like I said, I'm doing this incrementally. I'm going to turn it about a quarter to a half turn. Then I'll throw my ruler back under the deck and take another measurement. And I'm trying to get that left side right at 8 centimeters. So after the third twist, I was within about a 1/4 inch, but I wanted it to be perfect, so I did one more tiny turn before I took that final measurement. Now, with both the left and right side at 8 centimeters, I am now putting the 13 millimeter socket back on that small hex head in order to lock down that adjustment. Gunner's out here checking out what I'm doing. Okay, so next I'm gonna go under the deck, and now I'm gonna pivot those blades so that one is pointing backwards and the other one is pointing towards the front. And now I want to measure those to see if there's a slight pitch. Not an easy shot to get, but if you look close, you'll see that the rear is at about 3.5 inches. The front of the blade was actually at 3 inches, so the pitch was going in the right direction, where I want the front down a little bit more than the rear, but a 1/2 inch was a little too much of a pitch. So I'm going to tighten up that front hanger bracket in order to pull up the front of the deck about a 1/4 inch. So I'm turning both of those nuts, and I'm using a 19 millimeter deep socket, and I'm just incrementally turning both of those nuts because I want to keep that hanger equal. Here's a shot of that front hanger bracket. You want to make sure that it's pulling and it's deep in the grooves equally on both sides. If you screw one side too much, you'll get an angle and then it won't be pulling the deck properly. You can see here that my bracket is pulling nicely and is deep in the grooves on both sides. With that front bracket tightened, I just want to take a measurement front and back of one of those blades just to show you my new pitch. All right, so again, a difficult angle, but you can see I've got the ruler up against the back of the blade.
Back is right around 3.5.
And now I'm gonna move that ruler to the front to measure 3 1/4, which is perfect, exactly where I wanted it.
Thanks for watching. Check out the description for more information and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos.